Jesus was proposing the Samaritan woman. But you have to come from South Africa for you to understand that that was a proposal. Because you cannot steal the words of God, translate them to English, and bring them back to us, the original owners, and pretend as if you are the one who wrote those words. We are going to catch you because you will do a direct translation and lose the meaning, and we will laugh at you. Revelations chapter 3 verse 9 was talking about you. I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who claim to be Jews, though they are not, but are liars. I will make them come and fall down at your feet and recognize that I have loved you. Go tell those who claim to be Jews that I said Jesus was proposing the Samaritan woman. If they don't understand what I'm saying, they must go to Hamampuru and ask the indigenous people there for a jug of water. And tell me what they will give them. They are not going to give you a glass. They will give you a partner. They will give you a wife. When you say, I'm asking for a jug of water, my South African people know what we are talking about. You cannot steal this language because you will do a direct translation and misunderstand it. I'm going to read from the Bible so that you can see that the people in the Bible were speaking the very same language. Genesis 24. Verse 42 to 44. So today, when I came to the spring, I prayed this prayer. Oh Lord, God of my master Abraham, please give me success on this mission. See, I am standing here beside this spring. This is my request. When a young woman comes to draw water, I will say to her, please give me a little water to drink from your jug. If she says yes, have a drink. And I will draw water for your camels too. Let her be the one you have selected to be the wife of my master's son. This guy is asking for water and coupling it with marriage, just as we do in South Africa. Ask my South African people in the comment section, they will tell you. Genesis 29, verse 9 to 10. Another story that is similar to the previous one. I'm going to read stories so that your minds can be opened, so that you can know that we are the original. Genesis 29 verse 9 to 10. While he was still talking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherd. When Jacob saw Rachel, daughter of his uncle Laban, and Laban's sheep, he went over and rolled the stone away from the mouth of the well and watered his uncle's sheep. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and began to weep aloud. On verse 28, it says, and Jacob did so. He finished his week with Leah, and then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Water marriage, just as we still do today in South Africa. Exodus 2, verse 18 to 21. The third verse, that is similar to this one, so that you can understand that we know what we are talking about. You can erase the history from our lives, from our minds, but you cannot erase it from the spirit. It is embedded in us. Exodus 2, verse 18 to 21. When the girls returned to Ruel, their father, he asked them, why have you returned so early today? They answered, an Egyptian rescued us from the shepherds. He even drew water for us and watered the flock. And where is he? Ruel asked his daughters. Why did you leave him? Invite him to have something to eat. Moses agreed to stay with the man who gave his daughter to Moses in marriage. That story about water and marriage. Do you think the story of Jesus is the odd one out? I'm going to read for you so that you can understand that Jesus was proposing the Samaritan woman. It is in the book of John, chapter 4, starting from verse 3. He left Judea and departed again for Galilee, and he had to pass through Samaria. So he came to a town of Samaria called Sychar, near the field that Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there. Same story. So Jesus, wearied as he was from his journey, was sitting beside the well. It was about the 6th hour. So Jesus was tired and he came to the well and he rested there. There is a song by Mafikizolo. It says, you will meet me at the river. Because we know where there is water, there is love. It is an old South African song that is sang by Mafikizolo. Water goes hand in hand with love. A woman from Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." For his disciples had gone away into the city to buy food. Jesus is asking the Samaritan woman for water. He says, "Ke kgopela sekgo sa metsi. Give me a drink." The Samaritan woman said to him, How is it that you, a Jew, asks for a drink from me, a woman of Samaria? For Jews have no dealings with Samaritans, in brackets. They say for Jews have no dealings with Samaritans. But I want you to understand, when they say for Jews have no dealings with Samaritans, they are not meaning that these people hate each other so much, because as we read down, you will understand that Jews don't actually have that much of a problem with Samaritans. This just means that they don't intermarry. Because as we go down, you will see what will happen. Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God, and who is it that is saying to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." Now, Jesus is telling the Samaritan woman, if you knew who it is that is proposing you would have asked him and said, "Give me living water." The woman said to him, "Sir, you have nothing to draw water with, and the well is deep. Where do you get that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob? He gave us the well and drank from it himself, as did his sons and his livestock." Jesus said to her, "Everyone who drinks of this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water that I will give him will never be thirsty again. The water that I give him will become in him a spring of water welling up to eternal life." Now, Jesus Christ is telling this woman about the spiritual water that he will give her. But this is not the topic for today. Let us carry on so that you can understand what we mean when we say, "Ke kgopela sekgo sa metsi." Now, this woman is refusing to give Jesus that water. That means she is refusing the marriage. Listen to what Jesus goes on to say. The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water so that I will not be thirsty again or have to come here to draw water." Jesus said to her, "Go, call your husband and come here." The woman answered him, "I have no husband." Now, all of a sudden, Jesus is talking to a woman and he asks for a jug of water, and this woman says no. And Jesus now starts talking about this woman's husband. "Go, call your husband and come here." The woman replied, the woman answered him, "I have no husband." Jesus said to her, "You are right in saying, 'I have no husband.' For you have had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband." Now, Jesus is saying to this woman, you are right. He is prophesying her love life. He is saying, you are right. You say you have no husband, and the one you are staying with is a fat and sad. Imagine, he is going deeper, but into her personal life, her love life. He says, the one you are staying with is a fat and sad, but you are refusing to give me water. Why are you doing that? Why is he going, attacking the woman's personal life? Why is he prophesying about her husband? Because he is proposing this woman, and this woman is saying no. Jesus is telling this woman, you had 5 husbands, and the one you are staying with is not your husband, is a fat and sad, but you are saying no to me. The woman said to him, "Sir, I perceive that you are a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you say that in Jerusalem is the place where we ought to worship." Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem will you worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. But the hour is coming and is now here when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father is seeking such people to worship him." This is a topic for another day. Let me carry on so that you can understand that this was a proposal, and that the Jews and the Samaritan, they don't have so much beef. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. The woman said to him, I know that Messiah is coming, he who is called Christ. When he comes, he will tell us all things. Jesus said to her, I who speak to you am he. Imagine. People were always following Jesus and saying to him, tell us, how long are you gonna go around beating by the bush and not tell us if you are the Christ or not? He was never giving people a direct answer. But now he's talking to this woman and he says to her, the one who is talking to you, you are looking at him straight in the face. I am the Messiah. First time. Just then his disciples came back. They marveled that he was talking with a woman, but no one said, what do you seek? Or why are you talking with her? Because now these guys, they are coming back, they find Jesus at the well talking to a woman. They say they marveled. What? Because Jesus used to speak with women. He was healing a lot of women. But now they find this woman with Jesus at the well and they know what is happening. That's why they are marveling. But they say, no one dared to ask him, why are you talking to her? What do you want from her? Because what else could he want from her? So the woman left her water jar and went away into the town and said to the people, come, see a man who told me all that I ever did. Can this be the Christ? They went out of the town and were coming out to him. If they had beef, that is so bad. It's like the beef that they are having is the beef that the blacks in South Africa have with the Afrikaners. We have beef, but it doesn't mean that I cannot go to an Afrikaner and ask for water. The beef is not that deep. Because now, if it was about water, that they can't even share water, this woman wouldn't go and even tell her people that, let's go and hear this guy out. If the beef was so bad. It is the beef that we have with the Afrikaners. I can go to an Afrikaner and ask for water, but that guy, if I go and ask to marry his daughter, he will get angry. Meanwhile, the disciples were urging him, saying, Rabbi, eat. But he said to them, I have food to eat that you do not know about. This is the story, guys. This is the story. If you don't understand that you cannot steal the words of God and translate them, you will go around and make yourself a joke and pretend as if you are the one who wrote those words. We will hear you because you will mistranslate the Bible. 3 stories speaking the same thing. It cannot be that Jesus' story is the odd one out. Khotso, ayibelele na.